One of the most anticipated movies of the year, without a doubt, guys, is Black Widow. This movie has been long awaited and pretty much long overdue in a lot of people's opinions. And I want to talk about in this first segment of the show everything we know so far about this highly anticipated movie. So let's talk about it. In an article, guys, that was written by Rick Marshall of Digital Trends, Marvel fans have been clamoring for a standalone Black Widow movie for years, and they're finally getting one. Despite her seemingly permanent send-off in Avengers Endgame, Natasha Romanoff will return to the big screen to kick off Marvel's highly anticipated Phase 4. In true super spy fashion, Marvel Studios is keeping many details of Black Widow a tightly guarded secret, but the company has revealed some footage from the film via trailers and television ads. So the new release date, guys, obviously there's the new release date announced for Black Widow. Obviously, a lot of movies are getting moved to later dates because of the pandemic going on, and they just don't. Everyone is it's very up in the air when the pandemic is going to end, and so they want to make sure that they push these movies far enough in advance, which is basically creating this. I mean, just so many blockbusters are going to be coming out very close to one another. But that being said, in March, Disney was forced to delay a number of films due to the pandemic, including Black Widow. Now they've announced a new release date, November 6th of 2020. That move bumps the Eternals, which was originally scheduled for November 6th, to February 12th of 2021. Marvel Studios postponed the premiere of Black Widow after the two largest theater chains in the U.S. announced plans to close indefinitely in March, and many states banned large gatherings of people. The film was originally scheduled to premiere May 1st. So obviously, guys, AMC Theaters is going through a significant amount of issues with the theater chain being the theater giant that they are. Now, this is almost a discussion for another day, guys, but really when you think about it, I'm actually wondering if Marvel is going to go ahead and they're going to put the Black Widow out there in theaters in November, but they're also going to release it shortly after it goes to theaters on Disney Plus to see how well it does on either platform. Because I think Disney is starting to consider the idea of maybe they should start moving all of their movies, pretty much, or all of their content onto Disney Plus, where they aren't having to split revenue share with a movie theater and such. And I wonder if that's kind of the future of what's going to happen with many of these film studios. It would be really sad to see the movie theater industry go out of business, which I don't know if it's going to happen for a while yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those movies where they test the water, so to speak. Maybe this one, maybe even the Eternals, they might see what it does in theaters as well as on Disney Plus. But that's just something to maybe think about as well, guys. And this pandemic is kind of opening that doorway, because we're seeing just how many issues now AMC Theaters is going through, amongst other theater chains out there. So this might be an opportunity for Marvel, but more so than not, Disney deciding what they want to do with Black Widow at this point. Now, obviously, guys, there's been a lot of images that have surfaced regarding Black Widow. There's been, of course, the trailers. The trailers are great, guys, and I think that if you guys haven't seen them yet, definitely check them out. Some of the promo images I like, some of them I don't so much, but the stills are really cool. They've got as far as the trailers go, I think the trailers make this look really, really exciting, in my personal opinion. Look, this is a movie, guys, that I'm very excited about. Obviously, I'm excited just like everyone else, because I think what is really anticipated is how Phase 4 is going to kick off and what we're going to see moving forward in this franchise. Because when you really look at it, it feels like Disney, another reason why I think Disney might be moving really into their Disney Plus launch more so than not, and kind of bringing stuff more so to Disney Plus, is because all of their big blockbuster movies, even though Black Widow is probably going to be a big blockbuster, if you think about it, Avengers Endgame and Toy Story and all of these, other movies that they were bringing out over the course of time in theaters, it kind of seems like all of those have almost eclipsed, and now we're probably going to see a decrease, obviously, in revenues from Marvel in particular, just because, obviously, there's nothing that's going to be as big as the Avengers. At least, I don't think there will be, like Black Widow or the Eternals or, Doctor Strange 2. Those are going to be big movies, but they're not going to be as big as the Avengers, and so I think that what what the MCU is probably going to try to do is with Phase 4, they kind of, it's almost like they're revamping here. They're going to kind of, now they've totally shown everyone their cards. Everyone's seen like just how incredible Avengers Endgame was, and just Avengers was in general. So now what they're trying to do is move into a direction of kind of almost restarting, right? Kind of with Phase 1, when you had like Iron Man come out and they started like all these different phases, they're kind of going back to that, back to the groundwork, the foundation, and kind of rebuilding now what they started. And then, of course, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's another one people are going to be really excited about. But all in all, guys, the concept arts, some of the stills are really great, and the trailers are awesome for this movie. So overall, the things that we know, guys, about these movies in particular, or I should say this movie in particular, is it looks really cool, right? It looks really great. We know, of course, about the release date, when that's coming out. Now, let's talk a little bit about the cast. I think it's important for us to understand, the cast. Obviously, everyone knows Scarlett Johansson, who will be slipping into the Black Widow's stealth suit for the 8th time. Johansson has played Black Widow since 2010 when she debuted in Iron Man 2. Johansson's Black Widow has also appeared in all 4 Avengers movies, Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Captain America: Civil War. She'll be joined in Black Widow by Florence Pugh, who will play Natasha's fellow Red Room alumnus, Yelena Belova. Pugh, who burst on the scene in 2014's The Falling, is one of Hollywood's rising stars. Then, of course, the young actress received rave reviews for her lead performance in Lady Macbeth. Then, of course, guys, in addition, Stranger Things' very own Chief Hopper, David Harbour, will appear in Black Widow as the Red Guardian, the Russian equivalent of Captain America, and in Marvel's comics, Natasha's ex-husband. So this is a very exciting addition, of course, to this stellar cast. I'm really excited about David Harbour being this. I'm excited to see what he looks like. Obviously, we've seen him as Hellboy. I didn't really like the Hellboy movie. I thought he was a great Hellboy in particular, but I just didn't like the movie very much. So I'll be interested to see how he portrays the Red Guardian. Now, as far as we'll kind of go over briefly the plot as well as the timeline here, even though Black Widow is less than a year from release, we still don't know much about its plot, although we do know when it takes place. At Comic-Con International 2019, Marvel confirmed that Black Widow is a prequel film that will be set between the events of Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War. For those of you who need a quick refresher, Civil War ended with Black Widow on the EM after helping Captain America and the Winter Soldier escape prosecution at the hands of Iron Man's pro-oversight forces. She remained in hiding until Infinity War, when Thanos' impending arrival forced her to emerge from the shadows. Marvel also announced that one of Black Widow's bad guys will be Taskmaster, who's also poised to be a major villain in Square Enix's upcoming Avengers video game. In the comics, Taskmaster is a mercenary who can mimic the fighting style of any opponent he crosses paths with. He tends to carry a sword and a shield, although he's a skilled hand-to-hand combatant as well, and should give Natasha a pretty tough fight. So, with that, guys, I think it's pretty, we don't know a lot, right? We don't know a lot. We pretty much know the timeline here, okay? So it's between Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War. And like I said, what I'm really excited about with this movie in particular is it's almost like revamping the MCU. It's kind of going back to the Iron Man days, right? When Iron Man first came out, and that kind of really started everything. I think that this might kind of restart everything once again. And I think Scarlett Johansson, she's a great actress. I love her as Black Widow. I'm excited to see kind of where they go with this, because I think there's going to be a lot of surprises as well. I really do. Now, as far as Black Widow is being directed by Cate Shortland, who's best known for the Nazi drama Lore. In 2017, Shortland also directed Berlin Syndrome, a psychological thriller about a young photographer who's held captive by her one-night stand. Now, I don't know who Cate Shortland is. I haven't seen either of those movies, but I love that Marvel is the type of company that gives a lot of these more or less known directors a real shot at making something special. And so I'm excited to see what she can do, because we've seen it time and time again, guys, obviously with the Russo brothers. And I mean, just, we could go on about the list of directors that have done an incredible job with Marvel movies, who really don't have like a significant background in making, large blockbuster movies. Meanwhile, Black Widow's script was written by Jac Schaeffer, whose credits include her debut film Timer and The Shower, a script that earned a spot on Hollywood's blacklist of popular scripts circulating around the industry. So, I've definitely heard of Jac Schaeffer before, but once again, not a super popular, scriptwriter or screenwriter. But nonetheless, I'm excited to see what this, how the dialogue and all of that goes as we watch the movie. Now, Marvel knows that what Black Widow is worth for the MCU. And for Natasha's solo flick, decided to pay Johansson accordingly. For Black Widow, the Marvel veteran will earn a whopping $15 million, which is on par with what Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth earned for playing a Captain America and Thor, respectively, in both Infinity War and their most recent solo films, Captain America Civil War and Thor Ragnarok. For the sake of comparison, Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman was reportedly paid $2 million to star in that character's first solo feature, while Brie Larson is said to have earned $5 million to star in Captain Marvel movie, which also required her to sign a 7-movie deal with Marvel. So, that being said, you look at that discrepancy there. I mean, Chadwick Boseman, man, he should be getting paid significantly more than $2 million. Now, obviously, they were probably this is the first time we're going to be really seeing Black Panther as far as in a solo movie. So maybe afterwards he'll get a bigger payday. Obviously, I would assume with further additions to the Black Panther, his solo movies, and when he's in the MCU as a whole, which I'm sure he's going to be in pretty much all of the MCU movies for the most part, but. All in all, guys, this is pretty much everything that we know so far about the movie. We know a lot, but we also know little at the same time. There's a lot of question marks here regarding this movie and where they're going with the MCU as a whole. I'm really excited about it. What are you guys the most excited about in this Marvel Black Widow movie? I got to say, the action, obviously, I'm excited to see kind of where they go with the story, and I hope there's a lot of, twists, turns, cliffhangers. I think it's going to be something that could be really special, and if they land it properly, this could be a real great start for Phase 4. But let me know, like I said, what do you guys want to see in Black Widow? Were you the most excited to see? Let me know in the comment section below, and for more Black Widow content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.